In this video, I'm going to cover evenly spacing increases. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. Evenly spacing increases is similar to evenly spacing decreases. First, you need to determine what type of increase you are using, whether it's made between the stitches or in a stitch. And the process will be slightly different whether you are working in the round or working flat. I have here 40 stitches. So if I needed to evenly increase by 3, and I'm working flat, and I use an increase method that uses the bars in between stitches, then I need to divide this piece by 4. 40 stitches divided by 4 is 10. Let me show you what that looks like then. Here you can see then 10, 10, 10, 10. This swatch just happened to work out that way. And the 3 increases are evenly spaced and placed the same distance from the edge. You may wish to spread these out a little farther, in which case what you want to do is decide how many stitches you want on either end before and after the increase. Let's say I want 5. What you would do mathematically, therefore, is take the 40 stitches, subtract the 10, and divide what remains by 2, because there are 2 spaces remaining. But 40 minus 10 leaves 30. 30 divided by 2 is 15. There are 15 stitches in each of these spaces. So to work this, I would work 5. I would do a make 1, and then work 15, do a make 1, work 15, do a make 1, work to the end. Now when using an increase method that uses the stitch to make an increase, whether it's a lifted increase or a bar increase like a knit front and back, you may want to take those stitches out of the equation when determining the stitches in between each increase. Let's say I want to use a knit front and back. Still 3 increases and 40 stitches. There will still be 4 spaces when knitting flat, but first we should remove the stitches involved in the increases. So I'll remove 3 stitches from my 40 to get 37. 37 divided by 4 is 9 and a little bit. So one of these spaces will be 10 stitches and the other 3 will be 9. Because the knit front and back is a non-symmetrical increase, meaning when you work it, there's a purl bump or a purl appearing bump to the left in each case. I'll place 10 stitches on the last segment to account for this, and 9 stitches over here. These 2 stitches will be used in my increases. So skipping this stitch, I'll then count 9, and then this stitch will be used in my increase. Now as I work across, I will knit 9, then I will knit front and back, then I will knit 9, then I will knit front and back, then I will knit 9, then I will knit front and back, then I will knit to the end, and because it's growing from ribbing, it might be a little difficult to tell, but this places what appears to be, and what is, 10 knit columns before a purl bump, 10 knit columns before another purl bump, 10 more knit columns before the last purl bump, and then 10 columns at the end. So with the knit front and back, the last increase should be placed 1 stitch to the right compared to the first increase. Or stated another way, 1 more stitch on the left than on the right. And this will center or mirror those increases nicely when using the knit front and back. If you're working in the round, there are no edge pieces. Therefore, you would take the 40 stitches, and for 3 increases, you would divide 40 by 3. This doesn't divide evenly, so one of your spaces will need to be a different number of stitches. 40 divided by 3 is 13 and a little bit. So if we say 13, imagine this is worked in the round, the last space will be 14 stitches, and an increase will be worked at the very end. Now again, when working in the round for a knit front and back, you would remove the stitches involved in the increase, so still 40 stitches minus 3, 37. But instead of dividing by 4, you would divide by 3 because it's a tube. And again, one of the spaces will need to be a different number of stitches. 37 divided by 3 is 12 and a little bit. So 2 of the spaces will be 12 and 1 of the spaces will be 13. So that was evenly spacing increases. I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.